So you want to own a property with some land in Fresno area? If you've been thinking about or dreaming about living on an acreage home, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Acreage Living in Fresno County. My name is Yue Lehman, and I help my clients buy and sell acreage properties in Fresno County. Subscribe to my channel so you will be the first to learn my acreage property purchase tips. Whether you need your acreage home next month or next year, send me an email or a text, give me a call, or schedule a meeting with me. Let me know so I can help you move on to the next steps towards your acreage home dreams. Today, I want to share with you the different types of acreage homes. Let's get started. Number one, we have horse properties. When we mention acreage properties, a lot of people might just go straight to, oh, I want to have some horses. And you are exactly right. That's one of the many things you can do on your acreage property. But if that is your biggest goal with your acreage home, there are a few things to watch out for and to look for on what would be the best suitable horse property. Usually there will be a stable, horse stable, possibly a tackle room, either as a part of the stable or an individual structure. And there would be enough area for an arena or already have an arena. And the landscaping of the area should be relatively flat, relatively open, without a whole lot of tree obstructions. And that is because horses are somewhat of a delicate animal. They need regular exercises and they need suitable ground to walk on and run on. One thing that is really nice to have, some horse properties have this, others do not, is an outdoor washing station. So maybe you already know this, but horses do sweat like us humans do. And with our hot summer and regular exercise, they need baths somewhat regularly. So having an outdoor wash station is really nice for the horse owners. Okay, not too interested in horses? No worries. Maybe you're looking at our number two, farm properties. You could either buy into a farm property that already have crops on them, or you could be looking for a property that's suitable for a specific type of crop that you want to plant. And either way, the most important thing is having a good well. Depending on the size of the farm you're looking at, you'll want either an agricultural well or a residential well for a smaller farm, of course. So what defines a good well? Number one, you want the well depth to be deep enough, and that's much deeper than the groundwater level. That way you have plenty of water to draw from. Number two, you want the well to have a good production level. So that could affect the water pressure. I think that's also related to the well pump. So you want to make sure the pump is working well. But there's a lot more to it than these two basic things. You want to make sure you have a good well that will support your entire farm. And one more thing I want to mention is if you plan to buy a farm that has crops already on it, just to make sure that it is clear between the buyer and the seller who will be owning the crops, because it could be structured either way. Either the buyer will own it after closing or the seller would still own it after closing. You just want to make sure that's clear. Moving on to number three, we have ADU property. Most properties, acreage properties, still just have one home on them, but many of them have a secondary structure. So usually we call them ADU because they are typically a much smaller home compared to the main home. People typically have built them for their elder family members so they can watch out for them. But there are different purposes you can use that structure if you're interested in having an ADU. You can for sure rent it out to someone that you know or you don't know. Or if you have a family member nearby, it would be a good structure for them to live next door, maybe watch for your children, or some arrangement like that that would work very well. So likely your reasons of looking for an ADU property is one of these two. If you are more flexible and want to take on more of a project, you can still look for homes with or properties with just one main structure, and you can still build your own ADU. Just know that there's a lot more involved. You'll probably need city or county approval, whatever the jurisdiction is. And also you'll want to make sure the landscaping of the property has something that's relatively flat, relatively higher elevation, as in it is suitable to build a new structure on top of. And if you don't have those characteristics, but you really, really like the land, of course you can still build an ADU on top of it. It might just cost you a little bit more money. Okay, then I have the last category as an other property. And just remember, none of these properties are like a hard, if a horse property has to be a horse property or a farm property has to be a farm property. A lot of them could be a combination of two or more, and they can cross over too. You can have horses and farm. And the other property I want to talk about is maybe you're not looking for anything above. Maybe you're just looking for having a little bit more space than what you currently have. And that is totally fine too. There are a lot of property that have a shop. So if you have a lot of projects going on, you like to work with your hands, you have a lot of tools, maybe you're just looking for a property with a nice shop for your projects or your tools. Maybe you just want to have a little bit more space for kids or pets to run around, and that is totally fine too. It could be any of these properties above. So I kind of put the rest as an other that would be suitable for many other things. Okay, so that concludes the 4 different types of acreage properties in Fresno County. And remember, if you need your acreage home next month or next year, make sure you let me know. You can give me, you can send me an email or a text, give me a call, or schedule a meeting with me. Otherwise, I will see you here next week. Bye.